Welcome to the Point Out Loud Women Trailblazers podcast, Series 10 of Pointers Leading Together, brought to you by the Salzman Center of Women's Leadership. Here at UW Stevens Point, we believe that meaningful change begins with students and leaders who are committed to shaping a more inclusive, innovative, and empowered campus.
This series highlights the voices of passionate students who are making a meaningful impact on their campus and in their communities. From campus initiatives to workplace programs, these leaders are redefining what it means to lead with compassion and purpose.
As Frida Kahlo once said, at the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can. Today, we honor the students showing resilience and courage in every step they take.
Have you ever encountered age bias? Well, I have to tell you, Adrienne and Jena, who we talked to in this episode, are decades younger than me, and yet I found so much inspiration in the conversation you're about to enjoy.
Adrienne Cohoon is a senior at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, majoring in Wildlife Ecology and Management, with certificates in fire science and Spanish. She stays highly involved on campus as a member of the UWSP Women's Rugby team, the student chapter of the Wildlife Society, the UWSP Fire Crew, and Chi Alpha. Adrienne also serves as a co-leader on the Black Bear and Canid projects through UWSP TWS. Jena Garceau is a wildlife ecology major and a Safari International Undergraduate Research Fellow for the Stevens Family Foundation Wisconsin Black Bear Research Project. She will also continue her journey at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point by returning this fall for graduate school. We're excited to welcome Jena and Adrienne to the podcast.
We're so excited to have you join us. Let's get started.
Well, welcome, Jena and Adrienne. It is so exciting to have you guys here. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us a little bit about your backstory.
Okay, I'll start. So my name's Jena Garceau, originally from Wisconsin in Manitowoc, and I kind of grew up in the woods, hunting, fishing with my dad. So natural resources was kind of a good fit for me, and Stevens Point is the only college I applied to because of that. So Woo. I came here, and I was actually also coming here for softball. So I played softball here my freshman year, but then have kind of been dealing with a lot of like health issues throughout college too. So that's been something I've been like navigating through my time here, and that's why I stopped playing softball. But that opened the door to a lot of like new opportunities. That got me into the Wildlife Society, where I got my position then with the Wisconsin Black Bear projects, and I'm doing a bunch of bear research and graduating this semester, but I'll be back next fall to do grad school.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm Adrienne Cohoon, and I grew up in Lansing area in Michigan. I also grew up hunting, fishing, just being outdoors with my family. We did a lot of road tripping around in the UP and stuff, and I wanted to do wildlife since I was like 9 years old. And so I applied to a bunch of different schools and visited Point, and I was like, this is the place for me. So super, super cool place here, honestly. And yeah, I got started right away. I was hoping to play softball. But then I got here and I went to the club sports fair, and I was like, rugby, that's it.
Ooh,
so I've been playing rugby for the last 4 years, which has been super fun. I'm also super involved in the Wildlife Society. I've been an officer. I'm on the Black Bear project with Jena. I'm also on the Canid project, and I'm also on Fire Crew, just a lot of different clubs, and it's been a great 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow. You
should see the smiles, the beams looking across the table at Kelsey and I. I am so excited to dive into what's behind these smiles.
Well, on top of that, you guys sound really busy with everything that you guys do. How do you manage it, considering like you also do rugby, you do fire crew, you do research? Like, how do you manage all of that?
For me, I like to stay busy. I think if I'm not busy, I don't know what to do with myself, I guess. But I also like do a lot of things with my friends. So a lot of my friends are in the same events as me, and I enjoy going to those things to do them, but also to hang out with the people. Like Jena and I have become really good friends, and a lot of my friends are in rugby or Wildlife Society, stuff like that. So
Yeah, for me it was kind of the same thing. I like to stay busy. I kind of just found that like making my work life somewhat of my personal life, like I still have my own personal life outside, but being able to like combine the two where like, yes, I'm doing research, I'm doing a ton of like stuff with the Black Bear Project where that's taking up a lot of my time, but all of the other co-leaders on that, like Adrienne, like they're all my best friends. So when I'm at those things, it doesn't feel like I'm only doing work. Like it's kind of part of my personal life because I enjoy doing those things just as fun activities to do. And then also for myself, I had to figure out a lot too about how to manage my time with my energy just for my health reasons. So that was kind of my thing with like softball is when my freshman year when I was on the softball team, played that, and then that was all of the energy I had to spend. So then I had nothing left for anything else. So it was kind of finding those balances of like weighing the things that I wanted most and then figuring out how I could mesh those together. So you have to sacrifice some things in order to do the top things you want to do.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Sacrificing my time this Sunday to finish my finals. Such a shame. I've never had to do work on like a weekend before. This is my first time. I'm like, sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
All right, we want to know how you got through school without doing work on the weekends.
I'm amazed.
All of us want that.
I don't know. My mom would always tell me to like do my work first before having fun. And well,
That makes sense.
when I was in high
That's good
school
advice.
and like going into college, you know, I didn't really listen because like all I wanted to do was like go out with my friends, have fun, go like shopping until I think it was towards the end of like my junior year going into my senior year. I was like, oh, I should have really locked in. I should have really locked in 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have learned, thanks to my mom, to do my work on the weekdays before. But now that I'm in grad school, I've been kind of slacking a little bit. I'm crawling to the finish line. I am crawling to the finish line.
Okay, so I think we have to talk about this, right? Because we all know this thing. It's not on our script, but let's talk about the difference between being locked in and crawling to the finish line. Because all of us have been here in leading ourselves or in leading others. Like, what is it like? What does it feel like as a woman leader, a woman influencer, women taking care of ourselves, right? What does it feel? What's the difference between being locked in and crawling to the finish line, and how do we get to locked in?
For myself, it's kind of been this thing of like, you know, it feels like I'm always so back and forth on that. Like right now, feel a little bit like I'm crawling to the finish line too. But then other times, like you do just really feel like you're like locked in on your goal and getting to where you need to be. And I think for myself, like the difference in those is kind of like when I am better at planning things ahead, like you said, like getting your work done earlier. Because I know for myself, sometimes I like to push things off, and then it's like all of a sudden, like now there's so much going on like at one time. But I think I've been like teetering this line of like starting to get myself locked in towards the last week of school here, and just kind of been like really focusing my time of like, okay, this is my time to get stuff done so that later I don't have to even worry about like don't have anything on my mind. So you can like separate those work time and non-work times in your own mind rather than focusing like you're having fun with your friends, but you're still thinking about, oh my goodness, I need to get this done tonight.
Yeah, I think for me, kind of the difference between like locking in and like crawling to the finish line is like the quality of it. Like crawling to the finish line, you're like, I just want to get it done.
Yeah.
Like just whatever happens, but it's done. And locking in for me is more of like, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put more thought into this. I'm going to make sure I'm focused on what I'm doing instead of, just get it done.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's good.
See, I think for me, when I realized that it was my time to lock in was my senior year of college. That's when I really like closed my eyes and I was like, okay, where do I see myself next year or like in 3 months? And that's kind of when I was like, oh shoot, I don't want to do what I'm currently doing. It's too late. But that's why I also kind of hopped into the MBA program that I'm currently in. And that's when I locked in. And now, like, I did my 4 years of undergrad and I'm almost done. And now that's my moment of like, okay, I figured out what I wanted to do and I'm ready to start it. So now I'm crawling to the finish line to actually make that jump to officially be done. Yeah. To do what I wanted to do.
I love that. Like, is crawling sometimes an indicator that we're ready to be done with something, that we're really excited about the transition ahead of us?
Yeah. I think
really
so.
good.
Like, that's kind of how I'm feeling a little bit right now, is like, I know what I want to do. I just want to like get there and do it kind of thing. Yeah. So it's like let's just get this done. Let's move on to the next big thing. So
like,
which is a big thing, but
no, like, I get it. I was so excited to like graduate with my undergrad. It didn't really feel like I was crawling until like right in this second, like finishing up my master's. I'm like, okay, I'm almost there. I can see the end of the tunnel. It is right there. And I think this is like my first ever moment that I have had that feeling of like, I'm done. Yeah. I'm officially done with what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so I want to start turning this into practical ideas for our listeners. So I am wondering, we have a hard time putting ourselves first as women. At least that's what the literature says. And Jena sounds like she is proing out on this, because she said that when her body said, hey, pay attention, she had to weigh out what she wanted most. So how does putting ourselves first play into locking in?
I think like for myself, like it's been like a big struggle and getting to this point where I'm like comfortable with my health, to be able to like figure out like when I can really dedicate myself. So I think for me, it's been this game of like, you just kind of have to like trial and error and like do things and figure out like, oh, that was too much for me this week. Like I need to tone back, and then kind of finding that balance of like, okay, like I'm doing all this stuff. I enjoy doing all this stuff, but that was too much for me this last week. Like I need to take a step back a little bit, kind of weigh out like, okay, like, yes, you really, really want to do this, but is this going to hurt you in the long run? This summer I actually had surgery again, and let's just say my doctor wasn't too happy when she found out I went back to work 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
That was a little early. Definitely felt a little early when I was getting back into it. So not the greatest choice on my part, but kind of taking those choices and like then looking back at it and being like, okay, yep, too much. Jena, take a step back next time. Really reflect on focusing on yourself first. Like it's kind of always this battle I play too of like, I feel bad when I'm like not able to be in something. I feel like I'm letting people down when I have to prioritize my health, but it's also like coming to understand that when I'm not prioritizing my health and instead I'm trying to just be there for people all the time, it's like I'm not always giving them my all. Instead I'm giving them what I can give them with how much I'm doing, but if I take the step back, go, sorry guys, I can't do this week. I need to just give my health a break. Then the next week I can come back fully charged, giving them 100%. So yeah, I think that's my thing of like really balancing that so that you can give your all the time.
Mm-hmm. I love that idea of balancing. Mm-hmm. I also wondered, because you focused a lot on others, and I wondered if getting our health straight sometimes is, and because I have a chronic illness, and so I understand, it's probably different than yours, what's going on with you, but I know that when I'm constantly putting others first, and I working with 100, 200 people a term, when I'm putting them first or putting the other people in my life first, I'm often not putting myself first. So it feels a little risky and mean to put myself first.
I get that. Like, I don't know. I've always been the type of person who always wants like the best for other people and like always wanting to help out, do what I can. And like, I've definitely realized this semester specifically, I've realized I've overextended myself so much with all the things that I do, especially we just had the North Central section of the Wildlife Society Student Conclave. Yeah. And I was kind of the lead planner on that. And we brought together 7 different schools from across the Midwest. And I really had to learn how to like ask for help and delegate. And I finally like figured that out towards the end. And it was like, I was trying to be like, oh, I know I can do this, so I'm just going to do it myself. Yeah. And then that got to be so much. And thankfully I had like really good planning team that I could like delegate things to. And I finally eventually was like, okay, nope, you guys are going to ask me all these questions, but I need you to take care of it on your own.
Yeah. Woo, that is key. So a question can be a trigger for getting someone else to do the work with you. Oh, that's golden. Okay, so Kelsey, you talked about seeing it. You talked about, right, you finish your junior year, you start your senior year, and you kind of look at things. Tell us about seeing it. I'm still a little fuzzy.
I don't know. I like to envision myself, like, what I want to do, like, seeing myself, like, in the future, what could a professional look like, stuff like that. That's kind of why I, like, said, I'm going to close my eyes and see where I see myself in 5 years. Do I see myself fishing? Do I see myself doing research for bears? I don't know. It was just that. It was just the kind of that moment of, like, where do I see myself? Am I happy? Am I sad? Should I start all over kind of thing? It's too late to start over. So I'm not going to start over. But yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like, I'm going to close my eyes and see where I see myself in, like, 5 years, maybe next week. Where do I see myself next week? Now I just want to ask another follow-up question, because I see that you guys, like I said, you're so busy. You have a lot of different successes that you've had throughout college. Who is somebody that you've looked up to help you or just to guide you in any of these?
I think for myself, like, my mom has been, like, a huge help to me in navigating this, because, like, she's very much the same as me of, like, she does so much stuff. Watching her try and balance her life with how much she does, like, it just shows me, like, you can do as much as you want to do. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it all. And then just, like, even days where I'm struggling, like, I have so much work to do and I'm just overwhelmed to the point of, like, I don't even know where to start. It's always, like, first call is always to my mom and just, like, Mom, I'm struggling right now. Like, there's so much going on. And she's always like, okay, like, take a step back. What's, like, the first thing you can do that's, like, easy to just get started with something on your list? Like, just kind of starts getting me, like, in the right moves of, like, yes, you're doing a lot, but you can get it all done. So I think she's been a big inspiration for that part.
Yeah, I definitely agree. My mom is, like, the one person that I'll, like, go to when I need something, or, like, she'll call me randomly in the middle of the day and I don't realize that I, like, really need to talk to her in that moment. But also just, like, the people around me, like, really have a good, like, big influence on me. Like, I had an internship my freshman year summer in Pennsylvania, and the other two interns that were working with me, they were about to go into their senior year also in wildlife at Penn State, but they've been, like, such a huge help because they were older. They kind of, like, mentored me through that, and I've been able to, like, see them through their careers, how they're progressing, and, like, we still text. I'm going to the one, like, I helped one pick out his engagement ring for his fiance. Like, I'm going to his wedding in November, so it's been a super big help to be, like, we send each other jobs, and they're always like giving me advice, and we're always like, oh, how are you guys doing? Like, what's the big thing now? And stuff like that. So that's been really helpful to be like, what should I do? Help. Like, kind of thing. So.
Oh, I'm going to cry. Because, like, I'm so close with my parents. I love my mom and dad more than anything. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi. And every step that, like, they took, I'm going to cry. I was always there with them in everything. And I know that they also do the same thing for me. Oh, I'm going to cry because I love my parents so much. And all the effort that they put in to, like, make sure, like, my brother and I were raised super well. It paid off all at the end.
Yeah, my dad will, like, randomly text me throughout the week, be like, I love you, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so
and
is my
it's the
dad.
sweetest thing. And my grandpa, a couple weeks ago, I had my last orchestra concert, and most of my family couldn't come, but my grandpa drove 8 hours to come see it, and then drove home the next day. And, like, they've just been, like, such the biggest supporters, all of my grandparents and my family, and they're all coming out for graduation.
Yay!
And it's going to be so much fun.
That's awesome. That's so exciting.
So you know our families, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But what about the larger community as well? Has anyone, like you gave an example, people that you met on a internship, but are there other places that people in the community have been helpful?
I think for me, like, also, like, my advisor for all the research that I'm doing, Katie Sartini, she, like, is always very, very good about, like, making me reflect on how much I can balance. Like, I'll be doing all this stuff and, like, she'll see that I'm, like, overwhelmed, and she's like, Jena, do I need to take something off your list? Like, I can make someone else do it. You don't need to be like doing all this. So she's very good at like noticing like when I'm not asking for help and like making me reflect on, do I need to ask for help? So I think she's been really great in that regard of like, I never feel like I can't come to her and be like, hey, I need help right now. I'm doing too much. So that's been great.
Yeah, Katie's really great about just always being positive in our meetings and everything too. She always has like a positive look on whatever questions we may have or anything. And also our advisor for the Wildlife Society, Jason Riddle, he's been a huge help, and especially with planning conclave and being an officer. Like, he's always like, what do you guys need? How can I help you? And with planning conclave, he would be like, what can I do through like my position at the university? Like, how can I make this easier for you? Do you want me to print all of your stuff so you don't have to use your print credits to do all this? And he'd be like, you shouldn't be using your print credits to do all of this. And he's just like always, even though he's literally one of the busiest people I know, he's always like looking to help students. And his big focus in the wildlife career is like students first. Like, that's always been his thing, which is so nice.
Yeah. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're not a student, we really want you to be hearing what these wonderful women are saying, right? That if you want to influence women that are coming up, emerging leaders, that it's our ability to reach out for them, create a safe space for them to ask for help, and to find ways to put them first, because that feels special, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. That's your action item so far, folks.
So I just want to ask another question, because like I know you're coming to an end with your college career. You're going to be moving on to grad school and then to jobs. What advice would you give to current students or incoming students that kind of want to do the same thing that you guys did?
I would say, like, for me, it was just like, oh, I want to do that thing. I'm going to find a way to do it. Like, even if you have to get creative with it. Like, I wanted to study abroad in New Zealand, but I couldn't afford it, so I went to Alaska instead. So I was like, yeah. Which, like, seems like, I don't know. But
Okay, the key is adventure.
Yes.
And then the decision was affordability.
Right,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
But I'm guessing you still had fun, right?
Oh, I had so much fun.
Okay, see?
One of the best decisions I've ever made. But I would just say, if you're thinking about doing something and you're a little hesitant, just like do it. I don't know.
Do it. Awesome.
Yeah. I'd like find, like, you might not see a way that you can do it, and I would say, like, ask the people around you and people you know who've done it, like, how to do it.
Yeah.
Because they might have a unique way you can get into something. Like, a lot of people that I know get their jobs from talking to people, stuff like that. So instead of like just finding an application online, they're like,
Yeah.
I know our professors will just randomly send us jobs that they think will work for us. So
That's a blast. You know, I love this, do it. And I heard you go, do it. But I think there's also a thing that Jena and I have been on the edge of learning, which is sometimes doing it means saying no.
Yep.
true.
It's following through on that urge to not do something. So can we say it's like, do what you're longing for, do what's right for you, do what you need. How would you say that? Like,
I would say too, like, for me, I think one of the big things I came to realize with my health is like, so having to quit softball and like losing that was a huge thing for me, because I had played softball my entire life, and was my dream since I was a kid to play college softball. So losing that, like, I kind of was in this lull my sophomore year of college of like, I wasn't really getting involved in like projects yet, and I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life. Like, I lost everything that I'd ever known, and I didn't know where to go from there. But then it was starting to like realize these things of like, I got on the Wildlife Society, and it was kind of my thing too, is like, don't feel like a fraud. Like, my sophomore year, I was like, I wanted to apply for the Black Bear Project so badly, and I saw it come out, and I was like, there's probably gonna be so many people applying for this. Like, I have barely done anything with the Wildlife Society so far. But then I was like, don't be stupid, Jena. Just apply for it. You want to do it. Just apply. And then sure enough, I got brought on, and it's been the greatest decision I've ever made. And then I also, like, with the Black Bear stuff, I did doing all of that. And then I also got to go to South Africa for studying abroad in winter. And so it was kind of like, for me, has been the big thing in realizing, like, going where God takes you. Like for me, like softball was taken away from me in my life, and that was really hard.
Yeah.
But then realizing that like through that, God was able to find all these new doors to open that I'm now enjoying like so much more than I ever would have thought. Like if someone would have told me like, here are your two options, like do this your entire college career or do this, this is what I would choose all the time. Like I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you know what you're anchored in, right? For some of us, it's our spirituality, our faith. For some of us, it's our sense of ourself, it's our vision, it's our sense of action and adventure, right? But I hear you saying, be anchored in something.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
That made me like want to cry. Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's good.
You both are so inspirational. Wow. So busy too. I remember when I was in your position where I was also really, really busy. Not what you guys did. I was on the other side. I think at one point I had up to like 5 different jobs here on campus. I never did clubs, but I felt like I was in a club with everything that I did. It just felt awesome.
Yeah.
And it made me feel so good about everything that I was doing, because I know like I was also giving back to the community. And I'm sure that you guys feel the same way. Like you feel like you're giving back to not only UWSP, but to like everybody around, even the animals.
Yes. So I'm wondering, you know, you're powerful. You've done a lot here. You know who you are. You've learned who you are. There are lots of women that are earlier in their college career, maybe even their high school career. Give us some advice. Like, how do we be who we're meant to be? How do we move into exploring that? You know, I don't know if I make sense, but like if I met either of you and you weren't doing wildlife, I think there'd be something huge missing.
Yeah.
Right. And so how do I find my path when like I look at you and I'm like, oh, you know it. I'm a little intimidated.
Yeah. I guess for me, it was like kind of just this trial and error of like doing different things that like I had some interest in, and then really just kind of as I was doing those, like figuring out like, oh, I'm having a really good time doing this. Like I really enjoy this. So I think it's kind of just like, don't be afraid to explore like anything that somewhat interests you. And then through doing those things, you can discover like, oh, I didn't love this as much as I thought I would. We're going to pass on this. And then like, oh, I really, really love this. So just trying a bunch of things and seeing how happy you are doing them.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I thought in high school that I was going to be a conservation warden, and then I did shooting competitions growing up, and one of the events in it was wildlife identification, and that was like our team's top event, and I really, really enjoyed that. And then I learned more about like wildlife biology instead of wildlife like conservation officer stuff, and I was like, I think I'm more in this side of things, and I like that more. And then I job shadowed a bird banding observatory in central Michigan, and I was like, okay, yeah.
I want to do this.
Yeah, and my dad's friend's the elk biologist in Pennsylvania, and we got to like go out and visit them one time, and we were driving around just like looking at elk, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So just like seeing what the people around you do, and if you find it cool, like seeing if you can like watch them do it or like join them for a little bit, see if you enjoy it. I think that's a big thing, is like trying things, just like Jena said.
I think like for me too, like kind of you're making me remember some things too, is that like, so growing up, like, yes, I said before that I loved like hunting and fishing and stuff, but like I think looking back, like I'm a very bear focused person, and anyone around me will tell you that.
All right, we got to the bears, baby.
And so I think like when I got into wildlife, like I used to be on the Canid project as well, because I kind of like all like large mammals, but I was in that and I was still like, oh, like, yeah, this is really cool. I really like this. But like, I still just had that itch in the back of my brain of like, I really want to do bears. And I think looking back for me, like when I look at my childhood memories, like some of my earliest memories that like, before you actually start developing these long-term things is like, I remember like playing in the sprinklers at my cabin with my cousins, and then our parents running outside and being like, come on guys, like there's a bear eating from the burn barrel right now. Let's go hide behind the boat and watch it. Wow.
That's so fun.
So I just think like all of those things, like for me, like my memories that stand out to me from like when I was a kid were my memories being at my cabin and seeing bears. Like I've always loved bears and just watching them. So I think that's kind of really what was always like that itch in the back of my brain of like, bears are my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like similar thing here. Like up at our cottage, we always had like loons out on the lake. Me and my grandpa would play bird bingo growing up, and like birds have always been, and like birds and all wildlife have just been such a like big part of my childhood too. But like this like question and where we are going with it kind of reminded me of how my one friend got into her field. She's in elementary and special education, and she was our senior year of high school. She was trying to figure out what she wanted to do. And she was like, I don't know, maybe I'll do psychology. And we had a program in our high school called Links, where you would go with someone in the special education program around to their classes and like help them out. And she would do that for like 2 or 3 hours of her day, like 2 or 3 periods. And she would also volunteer in the special ed room at her church for kids. And she was like, I don't really know what I want to do. And I was like, Darren, look at me. I know what you want to do. And here we are. She's
Wait, I love it.
And so she's graduating with her double major in elementary ed and special education right now, and she absolutely loves it. And like sometimes the people around you might know you better than you do. I would say like a couple of my friends from high school like to say that they know me better than I do. So like also relying on the people around you to be like, what do you think I'm good at?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, the 4 of us have to write a book because I already have it titled. Okay, ready? It's the Love It Indicator.
Ooh, fancy.
Right? Right? And then we need a second line that says, the Love It Indicator. Something like harvesting your love and what the people around you see you love. I know, it's not quite right.
That's fun.
Okay, you want to put our hands in and commit? Team.
All right. To kind of close this interview, I just want to know, when you think about women in your role or anybody's role in today's society, what's something that gives you hope?
So Women Wildlife, I would say, looking at our like Wildlife Society club, almost like over half of the co-leaders now are like all women. Like
I was gonna say the demographics since we
Yeah.
started have just changed so much. Like most of our attendees are women now,
Yeah.
Wow.
which is so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been this huge shift, and so I think females are getting like more comfortable to be like we can do the nature jobs, like we can do,
Yeah.
we can
I
do
love
this fun
that.
stuff.
That's awesome.
So like I think it's cool that like we're in this era where like we are seeing that change of like women getting more involved in these like natural resources types of fields.
Yeah, and I definitely like just seeing the collaboration too of like, I mean, we're doing this. This is just this podcast, and like just getting to know other women like around you and like creating those close relationships and like talking about things like this is just such a cool thing that we can do.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely. I really like that you said that we're doing this because we are doing this, whether it's in wildlife or just this podcast. We are doing this.
Because we like each other. Like, right? That's a Love It Indicator, baby.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was a blast.
Yes, it was.
Thank you for joining us for our 10th series of Pointers Leading Together. We hope these stories inspire you to step up, speak out, and make a difference in your own communities.
Maya Angelou once said, "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated." Let's carry that resilience with us into everything we do.
Be sure to tune in into our next series where we will continue to amplify the voices of those creating meaningful impact.
Until then, keep pushing forward, keep advancing, and keep driving change.